Hello everyone, it's me, your average bonehead, Jay, and Merry Chris Pratt to you all.
He's so cool.
So, as my gift to you, my viewers, I'm going to be talking about anime again. So, fun little story. This is actually the second anime I've ever seen that had nothing to do with a video game. Yeah, and one of the few genuinely nice things she actually did for me, my sister Rain actually showed me a good anime, because this first one she showed me left absolutely no impression onto my life other than introducing me to one of my favorite characters of all time, don't at me. So yeah, Teasing Master Takagi-san. This, to me, is probably the cutest anime I've ever seen, and obviously, because of that, it's one of my favorites. The series centers around a boy named Nishikata, as we see him trying to one-up his classmate, best friend, and obvious crush, Takagi, through various challenges, pranks, and other forms of teasing. But due to his own hubris, he constantly fails, and she always manages to tease him, making him a blushing mess. Basically, she leaves him looking like Amity in Season 1B and 2A.
Oh, wow. Sports.
And like I said, this show manages to constantly remain wholesome because it's Nishikata constantly wanting to start these competitions, but then he ultimately overthinks such simple things. That, or he's just being too prideful, and it's obvious the universe needs to knock him down a peg. And it's because of these factors, Takagi herself manages to never feel like a mean-spirited person or a bully. It's also due to the fact that these two genuinely like being around each other is what manages to keep their relationship cute and wholesome, and out of the he clearly is uncomfortable being around you, back off, and Twitter would cancel this show 10 times over if the genders were reversed, camp. This show is also technically an anthology series, as most normal episodes consist of different, sometimes tangentially related plots, usually following other side characters as well, who all happen to be their friends. But for the sake of the holidays, I'll be talking about the Christmas episode, Christmas. And because none of the side characters actually appear in this episode, the most common side characters are these three girls, Mina, Yukari, and Sane, and once I show you this image, you will never be able to unsee it, so Merry Christmas. The episode begins with Nishikata having a dream nightmare as Takagi arrives at his house as Santa and gives him a present which jump scares him. Don't worry, none of this is important to the actual plot of the episode. Our story truly begins with Nishikata meeting up with Takagi at a port as the two of them are getting on a boat. The two are on their way to see the movie 100% Unrequited Love, which is a movie of a show that Nishikata really likes, but would usually watch it in secret because he was embarrassed for liking it, until Takagi pried this obvious information out of him, and after she promised to keep it their little secret, he feels a bit more comfortable bringing her along to watch the movie with him. Takagi then mentions that it's the first day of the winter break, and that makes Nishikata realize he hasn't won once this year. Poor lad. So now, of course, his mission for today is to get back at her at least once.
At the very least, I must end things on a high note by claiming one win against her.
Once they arrive at their destination, they have a bit of time left before the movie starts. So quickly needing to find a way to finally beat Takagi, Nishikata brings her to an arcade where he ultimately challenges her to the claw machine, which also just so happens to have something he wants in it. So after the plot of the episode Skill Crane mixed with that one godforsaken Mario Party minigame, Takagi, of course, wins their competition. And I only now come to realize that I think Takagi wins their challenges all the time because Nishikata doesn't realize that when he's having his inner monologues, he's not talking and staring out into the void.
I let myself get blinded by victory and betrayed my true feelings. Now I've lost the contest. And I also lost to myself.
Being a good person, Takagi gives her prize to Nishikata as she knew it's something he wanted. Though of course not before violently playing with the poor boy's emotions by telling him that when she said she fell in love earlier, she wasn't talking about the characters.
What I actually fell in love with was claw machines.
So the two head up to the
Fiechter.
And Takagi starts talking about how probably some of the couples are faking being couples just so they have a chance to win the special prize, which would also mean them. Because at this point in the series, these two are not a couple, they're just friends. In the same way, Steve and Connie were just friends. And while Nishikata's embarrassed about this type of talk at first, he decides to put on his shield of blind confidence and states that they have nothing to worry about because there's no way for him to even check. Unfortunately for Nishikata, this blind confidence, as well as his mind still being on the conversation they just had, causes him to say,
Tickets for the Nishikata couple, please.
For the couple?
2, 1.
He's then bluntly told that was all for nothing. On their way in, Nishikata tells Takagi that he has to go to the bathroom and that he'll meet her inside. However, it turns out he was actually lying to her because he wanted to get a moment so he can write the card for her Christmas gift. And then I realized how relatable Nishikata actually is because, much like him, I can't write cards for the life of me. Nishikata then meets back up with Takagi to watch the movie with her, but that means he missed all the trailers. Come on, you missed the Mario movie trailer.
Bowser is coming.
They also see what their couple's gift is, and aw, that's cute. So they watched the movie, and I got no comments on it. The series is just a twisted mirror reflection of their relationship. And after the movie, Nishikata ends up looking like how I do every single time I watch Wreck-It Ralph, peak cinema, that never got a sequel. After leaving the theater, the two talk about their favorite parts of the movie, and then Takagi bluntly asks,
What kind of girl is your type, Nishikata?
Put him on the spot, why don't ya? She questions if he likes girls that are like the one from the movie, though Nishikata doesn't give an answer. Takagi then challenges Nishikata to a simple race to a pole, and then he wins. He wins. He beat her in a race, in a challenge. He did it twice. He did it. However, blinded by the pure euphoria of finally winning, Nishikata doesn't seem to realize that Takagi is acting rather strange. They then see the Home Alone 2 tree. Then Nishikata finally starts to realize that Takagi is acting a lot more ditzy than usual. And then it finally clicks to him that she's just pretending to act like the girl from the movie because she knew he would like that. Meaning his two wins weren't genuine.
They were fake?
Of course they were fake!
That or she's just normally quoting the movie, which I would totally understand. You see, I have this weird thing where I can speak fluent prequel. You will not take her from me! I'm sorry, usually I can control that. Is it possible to learn this power? Damn it! And to make things even funnier, she wants him to say the next line, which is...
Because I wanted you to think I was hot stuff.
So now that that horrific incident of terror is over, the sun goes down and all the Christmas lights turn on, as it even starts to snow. Seeing that her hands are cold, Nishikata gives Takagi her gift, which turns out to be a new pair of gloves for her, which is actually connected to a callback to an earlier episode. That's sweet. And Takagi's gift to Nishikata is a scarf that she knitted for him, which is also a callback to a previous episode, which is even sweeter. Takagi, of course, manages to squeeze in a bit more teasing.
Victory!
Yep, this actually counts as a win for Nishikata, even though he doesn't know it, which actually isn't the first time this has happened. I guess it really is the thought that counts. So the two head back home on the boat! And Nishikata walks Takagi to her house. And, much like the best Star Wars movies, there's absolutely no dialogue throughout the ending scenes of this episode, and it just lets the music and visuals do the storytelling. As Nishikata runs home, he's happy that he made Takagi happy. These two idiots are adorable. And the episode ends on that note. On a completely side tangent, as someone who pretty much only listens to English songs, I must say, Japanese Christmas carols hit a lot harder than the English variants. Also, little fun fact, this is actually not the first time I've heard a Japanese cover of this song. The first time I heard it was from this character, Connie-chan, and I only know about her existence because of Thomas and Friends, and that's a rabbit hole I am not getting into right now because I want to talk about one wholesome show, damn it! And yeah, speaking of, this is a very wholesome episode. Teasing Master Takagi-san is such a good show. It's so wholesome and adorable, and I am so happy that I saw it. I love all its characters, I love all their chemistry and relationships, and I love this show's comedy. As for this episode, I honestly think it's my favorite one. Yeah, I honestly think it beats out all 3 season finales and the episode where they had to put on a play. It's just that Takagi and Nishikata's relationship in this episode is probably at its most adorable, to the point that it completely makes up for the fact that this episode doesn't have the goals. But yeah, I can't recommend this show enough. While it's not my favorite anime, it's one I always find myself coming back to over and over again. And any way you slice it, it's infinitely better than an overrated piece of trash Nagatoro. Oh, hey, bada bing. Now get in the garbage with overrated pieces of trash like you belong. I'm your average bonehead Jay, and Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
私からメリークリスマス Santa Claus is coming